I'm Keith Meier, Judge of the Warrick Superior Court Number 1 in Boonville, Indiana. The reason we started the Families in Transition sprang from a meeting that I had with Mary Lou about the lack of information that divorcing couples had with respect not only to the divorce process, but also the impact of that process and ultimate result upon their child or children, and they had little information or knowledge about how to deal with the child or children in that situation. And so as a result of the meeting, the Purdue Extension Warrick County set up the Families in Transition program, which introduces the divorce litigants to the process, some of the legal things that are involved, but most importantly, how to deal with the children, so the children are not caught in the middle of what oftentimes is a very contentious, acrimonious, sometimes violent situation. And this program's been going on now for about 7 years, and we do an exit survey from these courses, and the responses over that 7 years have been very good. In fact, a lot of the responses recommend we expand it to cover additional topics. And I think most of the people going through divorce are really starved of information about the process. And what Purdue has done here, I think, has greatly helped the people understand, and hopefully the results with their children are much more positive than they were in the past. In fact, just in my experience, although we have way too many cases involving acrimony and problems between parents that are affecting the kids, I think the incidence has gone down since the start of the program. Now, whether or not that is directly related to the program, I don't know if we have any way to measure that. But I think the program has been a great success, and the other two courts in Warrick County have adopted the program. And now parties in a divorce who have children are required to go to the program before the court will grant their divorce, except in unusual circumstances, which are very few. Another program that sprung out of Mary Lou and my meeting was the program we call Parenting Piece by Piece, and that is offered primarily to people who are going through a child born out of wedlock proceeding. And my thought in setting up that program is most cases involving children born out of wedlock, at least in my experience, are between couples who had a very minimal relationship, perhaps a one-night or one-day relationship that resulted in the birth of the child. And unlike married couples who develop bonding during the marriage, these people never bond. Now, some of them, have lived together for a period of time, and although they never really got married, they did have the marital bond, but most of them do not. So they don't have that marital bond, which makes the situation much more difficult when they're trying to raise a child when they never bonded at all, or very little. It's like two strangers coming together to raise a child, and they're not even living in the same house. So the Parenting Piece by Piece is geared to help with that and to give these couples some parenting skills that they would not otherwise have. The third program that the Purdue Extension Warrick County has been very active in is the Project LEAD, which on my part, involves the mock trials. And many years ago, probably 8 years ago, with the help of Ms. Kidwell, Carla Kidwell with the Purdue Extension, Warrick County, we developed a skit for fifth graders in the Warrick County schools to come in, to learn and to come into court and present. And it's a mock trial. It is a situation of a shoplifting, and the script is set up such that a jury really could decide either way based upon how they want to interpret the evidence, which is true in many adult criminal cases. So the students are practiced and prepped by Ms. Kidwell before they come into court, and they come in and they play all the roles of the court except for the judge, which I play and enjoy immensely. And the students also serve as jurors in the case, and after the conclusion of the evidence, the jury exits the room and they make a decision and come back, and sometimes they convict the defendant and sometimes they do not. And the kids seem extremely interested in this. There are a lot of Law and Order and judge and prosecutor shows and crime shows on TV, and the children are exposed to them. But this gives them some hands-on experience, and we also give them the opportunity after the trial is over to ask questions of me, and they show a great deal of interest in the legal system. And perhaps one or more of those will become lawyers and or judges, which would be a good thing.